Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. In Deuteronomy 29, even though it's titled The Renewal of the Covenant, that's not how the story ends. Okay, it talks about how if they don't keep the terms of the covenant, that the covenant will be broken and they won't prosper. That was what Deuteronomy 28 is about. It's like what the whole Bible's about. And so people take it out of context. They don't really read the Bible. They don't think about the deeper lessons, and they assume that the Jews have a covenant that can't be broken. And then a lot of times people start feeling sorry for them because they built on that idea and they kind of put themselves out there, and it's sad, you know. But everyone's got to do the right thing here. And it's not easy at times for me to say this, but I'm the top martial artist ever. I'm going to do what I've got to do. And it's always best to just tell the truth. So we see in verse 9, it talks about how they needed to keep the terms of the covenant, right? The key word is the terms. We see how it says that they shouldn't convey poison, the poison of idolatry. And we see how it says that the land will turn into a wasteland because they didn't keep the terms of the covenant. That's what it equals, right? It says, hey, if you don't keep it, it's going to turn to a wasteland. You'll be destroyed. And that's how the story ends. Now it gets confusing because it's talking about, Noah, right? Nimrod, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's a story. It's a story that's coded. That's why Abraham's called Abraham, Ham. Okay? And it's really about the Royal African Falcon martial art order and how people portrayed them, right? So think of the whole human race as like the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And there's a small group of people that's doing God's work. Those are like the prophets. And they keep trying to tell people to do what's right. Now, the reason why they call God Yahweh is because the moon deity Yah is also called, moon deity La is also called Yah. There's also a moon deity called Sin. It's a sin to pretend that the moon is the sun's, figuratively speaking. What I mean by this is the moon's associated with the tree of knowledge, the sun with the tree of life, right? The way, the truth, and the life. The sun gives life. The sun is the bridegroom, the sun of righteousness in Malachi. The sun in Psalm 19, right? The word sun, S-U-N, backwards, N-U-S. News, also playing words for news because they hung the righteous and so on and so forth. And so the bridegroom is the champion, right? The top martial artist ever possible. The prophets are either martial artists in the divine order who died for God, or, well, they're that, and they're people who saw what was going on and decided to die for God, and they were given a certain spiritual sight in the process of being wise enough to walk in the way of righteousness along the path of justice, right? From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom. The throne is established in righteousness. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun shining ever brighter to the full light of day, right? Righteousness is the life. The way is to be righteous. The truth is you need to be righteous, and then the righteous order to get to heaven. And the life is a righteous life. So that's what that is about here. And, in a sense, the Jews who obey God through me have a superior path than the path that they're describing. They think they can just kind of live a mediocre life, give to charity, pray a little bit, and say, yay, right? As opposed to shedding their skin, so to speak, giving up, being from the cult of the flesh, and giving up their false pride and having this profound transformation before my flesh dies and it's too late, and obeying God through me and truly coming into the Spirit. So what I'm describing is much superior to what they're describing. So you have to choose between what is deep and true and what is a fairy tale and a bootlicker's pittance on the way to hell. Thank you.